happened to YouTubers, man? I can't not say anything anymore. This is selling stuff for the sake of making money. How does this benefit their fans? Do better. Do better.
That's exactly how I interpreted it as well. Like, let me put this in the context. Imagine being a motherfucker who's angry that we made this. Crackers, bro? You mad cause we made crackers? This is what you're mad about? Bruh. It's a turkey, real cheese, and cracker stack. And by the way, it's great. I mean, yes, we made nachos as well with queso, but I think if you're getting mad about nachos, that's a you problem. Oh, and the pizza. It's literally called the pizza. That's a you problem. Same thing, like you're mad about pizza? Like 500,000 favorites because we made pizza, crackers, and nachos?
Where was the same energy when Ryan Trahan released Sweet? Where was the same energy when FaZe Rug released Sweet?
Hey, that is true. I don't remember anyone having a problem with Ryan or Rug when they released their candy. Just funny how that works.
I'm not.
Oh my god. This is peak idiocy at its peak. If all you took away from Dan's tweet was, I'm mad, then either your brain had selective viewing of what you were intaking in his tweet, or you just weren't paying attention to anything he was saying in that tweet. You know what? Why should I bother breaking this down? These people are beyond stupid that if they can't even see it for themselves, if they can't interpret it the way that, well, I mean, I have a problem with just communicating through text in general because it can be interpreted any way that isn't the way it was supposed to be interpreted, because communication, when it comes verbally, it's easy to come across exactly what you mean as opposed to over text, where if you as a person reading the text that you're seeing, it can be easily interpreted as if you're angry that day, then you're going to interpret this text as something that's negative. If you're happy, you may interpret it as something a little less so. So I have a problem with just communication via text that isn't verbal anyways. But despite that, that's not what this man is saying. I said I wasn't going to break it down. Again, if they can't figure this out on their own, then God, what's wrong with them? Also, he mentions other products that people have made and how no one else is getting up in arms by their products. Yeah, that's probably because their products didn't have links to people who hurt other people. I am awestruck. I am absolutely awestruck.
I don't remember anyone having a problem with Ryan or Rug when they released their candy. Just funny how that works.
I'm not.
Yeah, funny how that works, because they aren't you, and you have done things that the internet may call not good. What do you expect?
Seeing people going crazy towards them on Twitter. You know why? It's because people just hate us.
That's it. People just hate us. And I've come to realize now in my adult life that hate really is just a feeling of one's own inadequacy. You're dissatisfied with your life, you're unhappy.
First of all, they were presuming a lot. And I'm not going to pretend like what he said wasn't semi-smart. Yeah, sometimes people do project hate onto others because of a feeling of inadequacy. But that's not 100% of the population that you're implying is hating you. Some people are like that, not everyone.
When it comes to Twitter, Twitter is just a cesspool of the most depressed people on this earth.
I mean, yeah, that's 100% true.
That is so true. Twitter sucks. I'm not kidding. Probably one of the worst places to be.
I mean, you're not wrong about that. It's I mean, I play League of Legends, so you can tell I already hate myself. But it's yeah, anyways.
5% of the Reddit is just sucking my dick, and 95% calling JJ a corporate sellout.
This confuses me. I remember a time when like success and dreams used to be celebrated, and now it's like, and this was my response to Dan TDM, we've spent our whole lives creating content, and now we want to build businesses. Seems like a natural arc for any young, ambitious adult, and without even trying the meal, just seeing a headline, it is met with hate, resistance, disgust. You don't know anything about this product, and the people that think they know about it still don't know about it. I went to war with community notes the other day. X's regular regulatory body of truth, but they lie. The whole system is littered with lies because Community Notes is just it's exactly that. It's a community of contributors contributing what their point of view is, not the truth, their point of view. And if their point of view gets enough votes, it gets marked on the tweet. But that's crazy to me because if you're a polarizing person like me, because the contributors, by the way, who are not my fans, these are people who sit online all day, they don't go outside, they don't smell the grass, sit at the computer all day, they'll come up with something that fits their narrative or might make your tweet look bad so other people can ratio you, and oh my god, bro, I got ratioed.
I mean, again, yeah, people like that exist. I'm not saying they're not, they don't. But again, a lot of assumptions, a lot of presuming. Not everyone is like that. And that thing that he mentioned about people creating brands.
This confuses me. I remember a time when like success and dreams used to be celebrated. And
Success
now
and dreams are celebrated. It still does. Times change, people change, things change. I think assuming that everything's going to stay the same, or at least it's the same but different as you're implying, is kind of, again, stupid. Change is going to happen. Nothing stays the same.
it's like, and this was my response to Dan TDM, we've spent our whole lives creating content and now we want to build businesses.
And that's not a problem. I'm not saying that that's a problem at all. The problem that I had, dating back to the other video that I went talking about this, if you're actively posting things like this just to spite someone else who talked bad about you, it doesn't matter what you said. It doesn't matter what you said, no matter how good intentioned. It just reflects a level of ego. You didn't have to post this. If you didn't post this, guess what? You'd have a lot less negative responses. But again, these people who claim to be creators think their actions have no consequences. Ego, 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 ego.
Got ratioed so hard by so many people. People were making like a thing out of it. I think I saw like 4 tweets from like small accounts that were like, I want to ratio Logan Paul. Can you guys help me? 123,000 favorites. I favorited it too, to be honest, just because that's hilarious. Like these people will go through life and that'll be their greatest accomplishment. And if I can help with that, I'm so happy to. But yeah, Community Notes lies. I had a sports MD doctor on one of my tweets. Lie.
What lying for?
But I'm like, bro, it's not sodium. It's the 400 milligrams of electrolytes that we mentioned in the drink. And I had to correct him. I was like, bro, you're a sports medicine doctor. How you can't read? The drink in Lunchly has 400 milligrams of electrolytes. We're not making that up.
Oh my god. Have you never heard the saying, too much of anything is a bad thing? Or too much of a good thing is a bad thing? Sure, you got all these electrolytes. Guess what happens if that's the only thing kids are drinking every lunch at school? They're gonna have intestinal issues. They're gonna have problems, which is what you're advertising this Lunchly to be. It's kids' school meals. Guess what's gonna happen as a result? They're gonna have a lot of problems. Even the most healthiest of products. I don't know if they even understood this when making this. Even the most healthiest of products, as I said, too much of a good thing is not so much of a good thing.
And then I'm fighting with Community Notes. They're like, no, it doesn't. It has this many, is it? And then I corrected them. And I'm like, actually, the Prime in Lunchly is exclusive to Lunchly.
Okay, again, he's just doing... I understand that if you're passionate about something, you want to be proactive in making sure, people understand exactly what it is. I'm not saying that he's doing a bad thing by trying to defend his product. This is a lost cause. Again, you're a content creator and you don't understand what your actions have consequences. That doing this may not get the result that you want as a content creator. You should be able to understand the basic sphere of people.
And has 400 milligrams of electrolytes, and they still just plastered their lie. I can't believe it. It's like there are so many forces working against us to make sure we don't win, which is why we're gonna work that much harder to make sure we do win.
Bringing up a harmless Dan TDM video from 9 years ago, but I wasn't the one complaining. I'm just replying to Dan.
Huh? Dan TDM, why don't you come over to Sidecast and let's talk this out like men? No replies publicly or privately. It's obvious you tweeted this just for likes. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Again, do you not understand consequences to your actions? Posting this shows nothing more than your ego, that your ego is above everything else. Again, I'm not saying that there aren't people who do this things for the likes, because they do. Those people do exist. Seriously, man, what did you think was going to happen when posting this? I can tell you what's happening because we have the comments. Please stop tweeting. KSI is weak. Surely this is now harassment. What did you think was going to happen when you posted this?
Am I not allowed to reply to Dan? He came at me.
What? He came at Lunchly. What are you talking about? Going after the product you made is not the same as going after you as a person. No one blames Ewan McGregor for how bad Obi-Wan turned out. They blame Disney. They're not blaming the property, they're blaming the property creator. That's not the same as blaming the property itself.
Allowed to reply to that.
And of course you're allowed to reply, but again, actions have consequences. Maybe this is my introvertedness talking, but think before you speak.
And he came at me.
Yo, JJ is worked up right now. I mean, I could see why. Like, you can't engage with these people. It's like a game of tennis. If you don't hit the ball back, the game doesn't continue. And yet, he's falling in the trap. I'm falling in the trap. Like, here we are, like peons, trying to rationalize with a community notes. That's not like a person. That's not an entity. It's just a group of haters who somehow have the ability to comment on whether or not things are true. But
Again, you as a content creator should understand this already. You as a content creator should have, again, I'm repeating myself, the basic fundamental understanding of community, of people. If you're a content creator, how do you not understand?
But they lie. Help me understand.
I'm literally just making a company where I make a product that is better than the competition.
I'm gonna actually do some research, hold on. Okay. Huh, ain't that interesting? So, I mean, technically speaking, you get a lot more protein from McNuggets than you do from Lunchly. That's sad.
Yes, we could have made a lunch meal with carrots and celery and apple slices, but I don't eat that. I don't. Look, sorry, that's not true. I will have those things, but for like a lunch meal, I'm not interested in that.
That's fair.
I always have wanted a fun lunch. I grew up on Lunchables.
That's fair.
I'll admit that. We all have. I wouldn't sell something that I don't eat myself, and I wouldn't find myself
Again, that's
eating
fair.
a carrot, celery, apple slice lunch.
Again, that's
and the
absolutely
opportunity
fair.
to partner with a friend, Jimmy, who I've known forever, by putting
Okay.
Feastables, Our Product Prime, and an entree in a lunch kit was like a no-brainer to me. Especially if, and this is what we're forgetting, it's better than Lunchables. That's our stance. We see it just differently.
Yeah, sure. But you're not healthier than a McDonald's 6-piece chicken nugget, which is arguably worse than Lunchables. Again, sad.
If we can take shelf space and market share from a company that is not producing the best product that they can be doing in terms of what is in it, that is a win to us.
And actually, let's take a step back. Let's take a step back and look at the whole f***ing situation. These motherfuckers are complaining about a lunchbox. These motherfuckers are complaining about a lunch kit. That's what this whole thing is about.
Yeah, they
A
are.
lunch kit. There's way more crazier things happening in this world, but people want to go in on this lunch.
And they are.
That's what I'm saying. What?
Are you not paying attention to your own audience? Again, as a content creator, how are you not aware? Again, chicken nuggets are healthier than your product. Or let me rephrase. A 6-piece chicken nuggets they possess more protein than Lunchly. They're not necessarily healthier, but they have more protein.
Motherfuckers are mad about nachos? The f is going on here, bro?
You know what the kids these days need? Chocolate and sugar water for lunch.
I actually don't understand this at all, because I see a lot of these comments. Why do kids need an energy drink in the lunch league? Why just packed with sugar? Prime is a better for you hydration drink. Yes, we have an energy line that is 18 plus, but that is not in Lunchly. Lunchly is hydration. There's no caffeine in this product.
Just because it doesn't have caffeine. Oh my god. Remember that thing we said about the electrolytes earlier? Too much of anything is a bad thing. It doesn't matter if it's not caffeine. I'm starting to think he just doesn't understand what products is. What food is.
And there's no added sugar. 0 grams of sugar. So sugar.
Again, doesn't matter.
But unfortunately, the truth does not matter these days.
Lunchables.
I mean, honestly, if we want to talk about the truth on the internet, that's very much true. On the internet, truth is subjective. On the internet, truth is what you make of it. And again, it sort of ties into what I talked about earlier with why I don't like texting as a form of communication, because it's all about how you see the text. It's not about what the text actually means. How you feel is how the text is going to feel. It doesn't actually matter what the text actually means. And the same thing goes for just general internet communication with people all over the world. Truth on the internet is subjective. Regardless of fact, regardless of truth, regardless of lies, it's subjective.
Made, I think it was last year, about 1.8 billion. And you know what? We thought Lunchables, we can better that. We can make a better product that people can also afford.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing. It's around $4. It's a great value. It just is.
I don't understand why all of a sudden it's a bad thing to have a business.
I didn't even know he was gonna say that, and that's exactly what I said. Also, I think
that's
there's
not
like
a bad thing.
misunderstanding with how like hate is received by people. I'm so used to this In fact, I get paid for this. I literally make a living off of people not liking me. And I have to be honest with you, it's fantastic. When I'm in the center of the ring in the WWE and I can puppeteer an audience with my word, I can play you people like a fiddle because of what I say, because I lift an eyebrow.
Okay, I understand what he's saying. I understand what he means by what he's saying, but how it's coming across isn't a good thing.
Facial expression, I can get an exact reaction out of you that I want. Bro, that is the best feeling in the world. And
Also, oh my god, that was a horrible way to end that. Maybe you don't want to be telling your fans that you can puppeteer an audience to do whatever you want. It plays right into the, again, the whole hate thing about you manipulating your audience to make money off of them and where all that hate is actually coming from. Again, think before you speak. You're a content creator, how do you not understand people?
And so, like, other people, oh, he got ratioed, bro, social media is not real life. That isn't real life. I'll tell you what real life is. When you can make 15,000 people boo you because you do this.
Mr. Beast rolls out a much more matured reply than honestly, I'm sorry about being.
Wait, what? Lunchable sells hundreds of millions of units. Our goal is to give people better for alternatively to it. Our turkey meal, for example, is 80 less calories, 60% less sugar, and more electrolytes. We use real cheese than the cheese products. They can't call it cheese. Higher quality meats, etc. Obviously, eating fresh chicken, broccoli is healthier, but if someone is going to eat pre-made meals like this, which millions of people do through Lunchables, then I think giving them a higher quality version at roughly the same price is a net good, and why we launched Lunchly. So what do you say, this was a more mature reply than JJ? First off, yeah, absolutely. And secondly, I think I'm guilty of doing some misunderstanding by not fully expressing that this is not a bad attempt. It's like what Mr. Paul here was talking about with the business and all that, and like what his tweet said with the business. What he's saying about wanting to build business brands, about wanting to go into business, that's not a bad thing. And wanting to make a healthy alternative to Lunchables, which is a quite famous brand, and yeah, not as healthy. Yeah, I'm not saying that this was a bad attempt at trying to do something. I think Lunchly came out at kind of a bad opportune time. Again, because this is connected to Mr. Beast and all the controversy going on right now, the launch was sort of a bad idea because of all the hate he's getting, and people often tie hate to a creator to hate of a product that they have never bothered trying themselves. And because of how many people watch Mr. Beast gets how much hate Lunchly is going to have in response to that. But yeah, I'm not saying that this attempt of making a healthier version to Lunchables was a bad thing. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is how they went about doing this. Sure, they added some real cheese, some turkey, some crackers, and I think he said something about nachos. Yeah, cool, great stuff. Kids are sure to love it. You just went about promoting it, launching it, trying to defend it in the worst ways possible.
Don't deserve my maturity.
Hey, JJ is so funny. Actually, this is a good example. When I used to watch KSI's videos when we were beefing, I hated him. I was so annoyed with him. His laugh, the way he interacted with these people, I just chose to dislike anything I could about it. Because I was a hater. I really was. And then I met the guy. And I was like, dude, you're great. You're awesome. I like you. And now I think his videos are so funny, like my lens completely shifted. And I think right now we're stuck in that first kind of lens for a lot of people. So, hating us, it's just what you know. It's in your blood.
Again, you're comparing apples to oranges. Not every person, millions of people who watch you are going to have the opportunity to see you. You're implying that once people actually meet you in person, their perspective is going to change. Again, you're implying a lot. That's not always going to be the case. Number two, that's just people on the internet. And perspective can change. I'm sort of in the same boat with the Star Wars community right now, where because of them, Acolyte, probably one of the best recent released Star Wars shows, will no longer have a season 2. And it closes so many doors to so many great opportunities. This is the very first time we ever took a step back from the universe that we knew Star Wars in the world of the Galactic Republic, the Clone Wars, the Galactic Empire. This is the first time we're taking a step back out of the range of what we know. That would have opened the doors to seeing other Star Wars properties that were only seen in books or in other properties. The High Republic, the Old Republic, that would have opened up so many doors. And they showed Plagueis the Wise, a famous Star Wars character. It could have opened up so many doors if it did well, but thanks to the Star Wars community, guess what's not happening? Any look into the High Republic on the big screen, any look into the Old Republic on the big screen. The community has just ruined everything. But no, honestly, that ties into this too. Yeah, I mean, people are gonna hate you. You had a whole thing talking about this and how you reflect it, and yet you bring up this as if it's not okay. You're being a hypocrite.
Yeah, Lunchley's had a wild start. I have never seen anything like this. In terms of engagement and impressions, boy, we did it. In terms of sentiment, you know, but I have a rule. If you're gonna hate on this product, try it first.
I do intend in the future, what I want to do is actually, I'm probably gonna make a third part to this where I actually have consumed some Lunchly just to see how it is. There's nothing I can really say that I haven't already spoken about. Unbelievable, dude.